Nice to be here on a Monday morning at 7 o'clock. I'm always curious about who shows up at 7 in the morning and what they're up to. So I'm just gonna get to my home feed so I can see whether you can see me or not, because it takes a little while for this whole thing to kick in. And then what I want to talk to you about is really how do you promote without promoting. So let's see who's showing up, who's out of bed, and who's here. So if you are joining me this morning, say hello in the chat. That'd be great. I really want to talk to you this morning about how to promote yourself on any social media channel, but obviously LinkedIn is my big one. So how do you promote yourself on LinkedIn without promoting? Let's be honest, we all are here to make some money and earn a living. That's why we're here. We're not here because for the sake of it. We're here to make some money. We want to get customers, we want to get clients, yada, yada, yada. So we're all here for the same reasons. But we want to promote our business. So I'm going to give you some tips that's going to help you promote yourself without putting people off. So first thing, say hello, by the way. I can see the chat. So if you're here, say hello. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself, really, aren't I? So first things first, right? We are all here to promote ourselves, promote our business, get our message out. That's what we're here to do. That's what we want to do. But there's some kind of things that get in the way of that, i.e. human beings. Human beings do not want to be sold to. They do not want to be promoted to. And we spot ads more than ever. So as we start to see posts in our feed, as we're scrolling, guess what? We can spot the ones that are promoting and we can spot the ones that aren't. Well, I tell a lie. Every post is promoting. But there are some little tricks you can use to help yourself promote better. And they're actually quite counterintuitive. So they're not things that you might the things you instinctively want to do to promote your business are probably scuppering you. The things you want to do to get your message out there and align your message and build that brand are probably the things you shouldn't be doing. So let me just deal with a couple of them. Number one, your logo. You do not need to put your logo on every post, because as soon as people see a logo, they know full well it's some kind of promo. That's obvious. And most people don't get that. Most people don't understand that. But actually, the more you use your logo, and I know why you do it, because you want to get your brand across. I do it, I do it at times as well. We want to get our message about people who know who we are. But actually, some of your content is actually repelling people because the logo's there. Also, posts where it's overtly promoting will get less engagement because people will not want to engage with it. So putting your logo, slapping your logo on everything is a bad move. Real bad move. Because people immediately go, this is a promotional piece of content. Even if sometimes that content has no promotional element and it's actually all value, some people will see a logo and go, whew, I'm pulling away. So that's the first one. Second one is going to upset a load of graphic designers, right? And how do I say this politely? If all your posts visually look similar, it can actually make people think that they've already seen the post. So on brand, using our color schemes, it can actually go against you. So sometimes using very consistent color schemes or very consistent imagery can go against you. So don't do it. By all means, get some posts in there where they are I'm not saying ditch all promotion, but what I'm saying is if your posts look like they're promoting all the time, they look like ads, then your people are going to step back. Next one, stock imagery. Yeah, we can spot stock imagery, right? I've actually found the more human the imagery looks, the more engagement you get. In one sense, the less slick it looks, the more engagement you get. And sometimes I've torn myself in knots because I'm like, I really want to get the Maverick name out there. But actually, I found when I don't put Maverick's name on it, when I just use me or something I'm doing, so or I do something like this, I get better engagement and more interest from people. So more human imagery, less slick looking can actually work in your favor, which again is counterintuitive to what you might think. I know that sounds strange. I'm not saying you look like an idiot, but I am saying actually the less slick it is, the better it can be for you. Now, this next one is tricky to explain. What we tend to do is just directly promote. Hey, this is what we've got. And there's space to do that. You should do that. But if everything you're doing is direct promotion of your business, you know, case studies and stuff like that, people will pull back from it. Now, you might think, well, if I get my message out there and people see it, I'm getting a very clear message out there. The problem is that as you get that clear message out there, your visibility goes down because people don't engage with it. So if I went Maverick this today, Maverick that the next day, Maverick, my engagement and my audience would start to decline to the point where it'd go to, you know, a handful of people. So posts where I get, you know, 8, 9, 10, 15, 25,000 views would evaporate and everything would be like 50 to 100 views, 200 views. Why? Because I'm aggressively promoting. So one of the things you can do is tell stories. So don't mention whatsoever your business, and you just give examples in stories. So let's say, for an example, we're talking about getting leads from LinkedIn content. I could give some handy tips to people in a post about getting leads from getting leads from content. Then what I could do is give an example. Let me give you an example. This is a client I was working with and just told the story. Interestingly enough, people don't get as they don't have as much aversion to engaging and spending time on posts where actually the promotion is as part of a story rather than this is what it is. So if you can weave a narrative or a story through a post, they can be just as good. So it's tricky to do because you have to come up with an example and you have to come up with a scenario sometimes. Even if you don't have an exact case study, you could give people a scenario. So, let me give you an example. If you were a marketing consultant and you were struggling to get business from LinkedIn, this is what I'd be telling you to do because this is what I've seen work for many of my clients. You see what I mean? I'm telling people without throwing it in their face like a promotion. So the other thing you can do to avoid promotion or to avoid putting people off with promotion is literally value bomb people. And people don't like doing this, but actually it's really good. So by value bomb people, I mean, make very useful, practical things in your content that people can use. So if people say, for an example, you have a worksheet that would help people understand their business goals. Let's say you have a process or a reference sheet or something like that. You can use those and say, hey, this is what we use to do X, Y, or Z. You might put a bit of it up there and tell people, hey, if you want the full copy, happy to give it to you. Right? Just ping me a message and give me your email and I'll email it to you. This is a real simple way to promote. And what you're doing there, and this is really important, really, really important, especially if you're selling services. You're selling services, is that people buy into your way. Yeah, they buy into your method. So if you're a marketing consultant, you're coach or business consultant or anybody selling a service, you will have a methodology about how you approach the way you do business. If you start to promote that, it's unique to you. Yeah, get me here, because if you get this, it's game-changing moment. So you'll have a methodology about how you approach business. I have a methodology about how I approach LinkedIn. I have a methodology about how I approach growing a business through social media. I preach my methodology. So I talk about my methodology a lot in lots of different ways. So the rapid leads method, I've got the content priming, I've got the 7 steps of social selling, and I talk about these methods. Here's the thing, and I show people why these methods are useful, valuable, and profitable for them. So I don't promote Maverick, I promote the methods. Here's what happens. People go, I want to use that method. I can see how that method would work for us. Yeah. I've bought, somebody buys into my methodology. They can't get that from anybody else. So when somebody wants that methodology, they come to you. So sometimes your promotion, just promoting Maverick, will go, oof, right? But actually, when Dean says, right, I've got a rapid leads method that can get you in about 2 weeks up and running and getting 2 to 3 leads every week without hardly any effort from LinkedIn. That's the rapid leads method. And I can promote that. I can give people advice on that. I can share about how it works. And then when people want it, they come and message me for it because they can't get that methodology anywhere else because it's mine. It's something I've created. So if you're a VA, marketing consultant, social media consultant, coach, doesn't matter who you are, you have a methodology. Even if you're selling physical products, you will have a manufacturing methodology that adds quality and what have you. If you promote the methodology, if you promote the why you do it the way you do it, the system, actually people want to buy the system. And that's the easiest way to promote. So you don't need your logo. You don't need all the branding in the world. You don't have to look slick as long as your message is valuable. Now, if your message isn't valuable, you have to play to emotion. There's only a couple of ways to make social media work financially, profitably. You're either all into emotion, make people laugh, make people cry, or you add a lot of value. It's actually quite hard to make money for a business that exists already by just using emotion, unless you've got some kind of product that's more B2C. If you're trying to engage people on emotional level, you end up probably becoming a content creator where your money is in your content rather than your money's in your service. So I don't generally help people who are trying to become an influencer or that way on. I help people who've got something to sell, service, expertise, that kind of stuff. So going down that road of emotional impact, all right, you can do it every so often, but actually it's really tricky to sell a service off the back of some of that stuff. So hopefully you got that. If you sell your methodology, if you promote your methodology in your content, that's the easiest way to actually get people to buy into you and what you do. But you don't need your logo. That's not what you should be doing. You want people, especially if you're a solopreneur. Now, if you're part of a big business, if you're a salesperson, for an example, in a bigger business, I have a different approach with that. But if you're a solopreneur, you are the brand. People are going to buy into you, not your logo, not all of that stuff. It's important to look professional, but actually on social media, they're buying into you. They're looking you in your eyes. They're looking back, they're seeing what you're doing, and they're going, is this relevant to me? So logos and slick stuff can help, but actually if they don't engage with you, if they don't get you, if they don't get the narrative through the content that helps them build a picture of you, it's all pointless. So you can promote your website package, your SEO package, your social media package, your marketing package, your coaching package, all of that stuff. But the key thing is they buy into you. So I've started to do more video. I hate doing videos, really, absolutely hate doing videos because I watch them back and go, Dean, why did you do it like that? I beat myself up badly over videos, but I know I do them, or I decide to do them simply because people get to know me. And some people will like me and some people won't. But at least I'm qualifying my audience by saying, This is what I share. This is what I'm about. I'll give you as much stuff as I can to help you. And if you want more, I can do more for you. That's what we need to be doing. That's how we need to be approaching it. Yes, insert stuff. So I've got promos I'll put out. So I'll put out one later this afternoon that's actually a promo, but actually I'm balanced. It's always balanced with some value, some tips, some help, getting to know me. All of that stuff is balanced, because if I just be promote, slap my logo on everything, guess what? I'll lose out. So, that's my little thoughts for today, really. You don't need to promote everything you do. You don't need to promote on every post. As long as you give some value, and long as you have a methodology, you can make it work for yourself. So there's a few of you here and nobody's chatting this morning. I can see like some people watching on YouTube, some people watching on Facebook. Nobody's chatting. Are you all in bed still? Is that what it is? Everybody's in bed and I'm up early. I'm on a road trip today, and tomorrow is my last day in the office. I'm on holiday, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure I won't be able to stay off LinkedIn because it's become so much part of my routine. It would be very difficult not to. But, yeah, you don't have to promote. You really don't have to make everything promotional. Give some value. Make something useful stuff. People don't worry about, people worry about their competitors. Let me get. I've got to go in a minute, but there's two things I see a lot of people worrying about on social media. The first one is, what if my competitors see what I'm doing and copy? That could happen with anything. Yeah, sometimes we make these like positions. We make these like worries about what could happen in fear of what the consequence would be. So the first one is, if I do this, my competitors will figure out what I'm doing. Right. Let's just, you either dominate a market and risk the competitors taking what you're doing, or you don't dominate the market. It's like, it's a false choice. I shouldn't be doing so much in obvious stuff, because what if the competitors come and copy? So in other words, what we're saying is, I'm not going to advance my business. I'm not going to push forward and realize the full potential because of a fear of somebody else trying to steal what I'm doing. If we live our lives like that, it's silliness. But we sometimes have this thought, what if I do all of this and the competitors come? The competitors can come and do that anyway. Yeah, it's just the way it works. So that's the first one I see a lot. What if I go all in on this and really add some value, and I inspire my competitors? Well, that's the reality. If you want to dominate, if you want to really take this stuff seriously, if you want to take LinkedIn seriously, you have to risk that. But you also have to set yourself some confidence in yourself. Well, if they do that, I'll compensate. If that happens, I'll adapt. If that happens, I'll keep moving forward. That's just the way things work. The other one is that people get really stressed about, what if I overshare? And I don't mean overshare in terms of your personal life. I mean overshare value. And this is a risk, but I have the theory about this, that some people who you overshare with will go and do it themselves. Yeah. But you could argue, would they ever have got your help? Would they ever have got your help? So I take the view of, if people really see the value I can bring, that will sort my client stuff out. In the long run, that will work out way better for me than trying to protect myself and second guess myself as to what's too much value. Because, of course, we actually don't know what's too much value, because we're trying to make a judgment about how somebody else responds to what we do. I have no idea what too much value is. I don't know what too little value is. All I can do is go, would this help somebody? And let's be honest, you can Google everything now. I mean, you can Google everything. You can YouTube it, and there's somebody telling you a tutorial on it. So I don't see that I lose out by sharing too much stuff, because some people will struggle to implement that stuff, and that's where I come in helpful. somebody will go, yeah, I'm going to grow my business with social media. I really want to use organic social media to scale up and, 10x my revenue. Well, yeah, you can do that. You can go to YouTube, you can watch all the tutorials, you can do all that stuff. But actually the expertise is in doing it. And somebody who's YouTubing it doesn't know what's wrong and what's right, doesn't know where the problems are going to come in. And so, a bit like my analogy from last week, being at the top of the mountain, that's where I become useful, because they can go to YouTube and figure it out. And in 6 months' time, when they're no further on, they might come back to me because I give them the help to say, Dean, I'm struggling to get this all done. Can you help me? That's the theory. And so far, so good. But I wouldn't know what's too much or too little value. Depends on the person. And I could give one little idea about the mountain that changes somebody's thought process, and they become, they scale up to 10 million in revenue, and I didn't know anything about it. And then I could give somebody a step-by-step guide to scale to 10 million, and they don't know anything. They don't get it. So it's like, it's just false arguments. So I think, don't over promote. Weave your promotion through what you do. Add loads of value. Don't stress about the competition. Have some confidence in yourself that if the competition adapts to you, you'll adapt again. You'll innovate again. That's the way you have to approach it. And don't obsess about, is this good value? Is it too much value? Because you don't really know. You honestly don't really know. It's all relative. It's relative to the people. It's relative to the audience. You'll be second guessing yourself forever. I'd rather overshare and somebody say, wow, that was incredibly valuable, and create some word of mouth with other people saying, hey, you should check that Dean out on LinkedIn. That seems a no-brainer to me. So I'm going to go because I'm going on a road trip. Have an awesome week. Thank you for all the likes and the comments and all the wonderful stuff you do. If we're not connected, hit follow, and wherever you're watching, there'll be a notification, a bell on my profile somewhere. Do hit it, and then you can get this ugly mush in your face more often. Anyway, I've got to go. So have an awesome week, and I'll see you tomorrow.